we will be discussing some of the major highlights from the swearing-in ceremony of the ministers designate. It definitely was a colorful ceremony yesterday. We'd like to hear your own thoughts on all the various highlights. I tried to crack a joke earlier with the Lily saying that if they don't adhere to the master plan of Yourview on TVC, they will go down. They didn't get the joke. For those of us who watched...
No, I got the joke.
Only you got the joke. But for those of us who watched... For those of us who watched the Honorable Minister of the FCT or FCT yesterday would have gotten the joke because he has told them that if you have any illegal structures, you will go down.
Yeah.
If you know any minister, know anybody you think you have high up there, I don't care, you will go down.
Hurricane Wike.
Hurricane Wike has come to
Abuja.
Okay, maybe that's what I should said that.
Yes, Hurricane Wike.
But there's been a clapback saying that, listen, there are more things they need in FCT. It's not about pulling down structures.
Yeah.
We need recreational centers. We need
various
there are needs for FCT. So it's beyond pulling down structures. So we hope that he realizes that. But what are your own highlights of yesterday? And we'd also like to hear from our viewers. Call us on the numbers on your screen: 081-076-41679, 090-241-63440. Send us your messages on Twitter or on YouTube. Would love to read your messages. So, which one of them jumped at you?
It's Hurricane Wike now.
Yeah, still on Wike matter.
No, not just the speech, but the drama that Wike carries. You know, the paper carried that when he was called, he was like the most popular appointee. Everybody was clapping. This is the only PDP person that is serving in this administration, obviously, but he seemed to come across as a very popular person, and there was a lot of applause, the drama between himself and the president. But I think that I'm excited about the Betta Edu appointment, sad about Okotete and the drama with that, and I'm looking forward to what Betta will be able to do because she has a huge responsibility. The humanitarian part of the Ministry of Humanitarian is saddled with the responsibility of IDPs. And the stories we keep hearing about IDP is not good. So what I would expect is she goes on a tour of all the IDP camps, and it is not an official tour. It is an incommunicado tour, like unofficially she's showing up. Of course, being protected, we want her life. We value her too much. We don't want any risk coming to her, but we want her to show up and be able to see what is going on in the IDP camps. And we want a yam pepper scatter. Let it yam pepper ishuata yon. Yam pepper scatter.
Let it just scatter. Anyways,
but we want like an expose of all the people that are culpable. Let there be consequences.
Wait, everybody will sit. That's what Nigerians want. Or just come in and do fire brigade. But it's not about that. It's not until you arrest. Because some people actually want to fix the problem. They want to solve problem. Because when we see them arresting and scattering, for us, they're working. But that's not the work.
No.
The work is not about scattering. No, I get your point.
I know.
But the consequences should not be focused on. Because if this government wants to focus on the issues we have, you waste your time. But if you want to fix the problem, you find a solution.
But you can't fix the problem without facing the consequences.
Yeah, but
without facing the causes.
Yes.
And that is why you have to go for those people. Because let me tell you, if you start to arrest people like that,
shouldn't I use my resources, Wike, to fix the problem that I used to arrest? I'd rather use my limited resources to solve the problem.
How are you going to fix the problem without arresting the people?
Can be done simultaneously. But I also get what you're saying because a lot of there was some backlash. Would I say backlash or opinion, contrary opinion to what people described as Hurricane Wike? They thought that that's not the best attitude to go into this job with, where you're already going threatening people, you know. So I think sometimes let's come in with let's be a little circumspect in our speech so that we first gain trust is what we're saying. Gain trust first, and then but the truth is you must do both at the same time. You cannot start one, because if you say you focus all your resources on fixing the problem, it will still end up with those who are destroying the work. But then if you say you're just going to chase criminals down, then you will not have time to do the work. So it has to be done at the same time.
Yes, arrest them. We'll be the same to criticize you when you
say, what have you done?
You see, for me, I think that I'm hoping that Wike is not all noise, you know, because for me, I like the people that are quiet, action.
I love that too.
Yeah. But sometimes...
But when you come and you say, I don't care who you are, minister, so somebody was asking on the radio this morning, so if it's the president that has, will he go and knock down the president's house? He should be careful of what he's saying.
So.
If it is his own house, will he go and knock it down? So please, we want action. We don't want mouth. Okay. That's all I would say about.
Let's talk about the other parts of what happened.
Wike has never been my fan. I've never been his fan. Morayo loves him too.
No, we love his drama.
That's not true.
You love his drama too.
No,
I
gives us
on the show, Wike, let me maybe just because I forgot. The show is about highlighting things. We dramatize. Do I know that? Have I ever met Dangote? I don't know him, but I call him my uncle because it's not my person like that.
I know you don't know him.
Just use those things to
what I'm saying is
drama, not because
you love his drama.
Personal relationship.
I've never loved his drama. You love Wike's drama.
He gives us content because the show is about
you have acted some of his
don't mind his
scripts.
I've acted, it doesn't mean I like it.
That's it. It's show business. Really, it's about business of show.
So he's doing show.
So it's the drama that was.
That's my problem.
I mean,
is he doing?
I like his glasses though.
All right, let's move on to the other parts of
yes,
yesterday.
there are
a lot of the ballet and kneeling down. There were a few of those that happened yesterday.
I loved her too. What's her name?
Musawa.
I loved her. Very
Tell us more.
She was just, she spoke well.
She has serious pedigree, and she's somebody that's obviously well educated.
And I think she's going to. I hope
she does well.
I hope she's going to do a good job. But she seemed very. I love.
But I hear she was
so
emotional.
So in the papers, I found it a bit funny because we had a conversation some weeks back, and Tope was, she was like, when you Google Hannatu Musawa now, all you see is she cried, and she would like for her to come on our show sometime so that we can see her for who she really is beyond the emotions. And then the papers go ahead and say, Hannatu Musawa cried again. I'm like, I know she did other things. She spoke well. She represented herself well. But you choose to highlight the crying again.
You see hot tears of joy. Hot tears of joy rolled down her eyes as her citation was being read. So,
and they also reminded us that she cried again. Remember?
Yes,
finishing.
They now said that as the presidential spokesman was the anchor for the event, he said, Hannatu, daughter of Second Republic politician, also cried in front of the senators during her screening as she recounted how she treated in cola nuts. So, yes, Hannatu Musa is an emotional person, but she's more than that. And we should stop reporting in this way. And that's why we are asking Hannatu Musa,
Musawa,
please, we would like to interview you on Yourview. We would profile you beyond the hot tears.
Marketer, let's move on now to Lola Adejon. She knelt before the president, and obviously that people were going on and on. And I was just like, we pick and choose where we want to add culture or not culture. So suddenly we're like, why is she kneeling down? It's just somebody called it eye service. Somebody's calling all sort of things. I'm thinking, she's kneeling down before somebody who is older. It's respect. It's cultural.
So am I supposed to
so that makes...
I will see him. And I will not kneel down to, like, what am I? It's just not normal. Even if he's the president and I'm coming in as a minister, the point is, it's still the age that we must respect.
And I think that also plays into this conversation where we're having, like, what is our culture? What is us? What is the...
Not defined it.
Yes, we need to define it, because there was one time, the last administration, where we had the president handing out, remember, the awards, and we had the entertainer, I've forgotten her name right now, and many people, there was a lot of conversation about how she received that award. It didn't look like she respected the president. There were some people who cut it a bit.
Musician,
Tenny, yes. She didn't cut, they referred, they highlighted those that at least bowed their heads or curtsy. She seemed to just walk past him. And we criticized that. And now we have someone who is kneeling down, and then we'll criticize. So we need to choose what we would like to, how we would like to address our elders in Nigeria. If that person had come before the King of England and had curtsied, we would have thought, that's such a well-brought-up, polite person,
I thought she was well put together. That's Lola Adejon. I loved her corporate look. She looked like she's going there to do work. She wasn't there for fanfare with Gele or... Even with some with Gele, I liked.
Stereotyping.
Some with Gele, I liked. I liked Hannatu.
Yeah.
But I just thought she looked right. She was
Ready
ready
for
to,
action.
Because she's wearing a woman suit.
She was going. No, she was wearing a dress. It was probably made in Nigeria.
We're having a shoot.
Yes.
I'm just trying to let
He
you
had
know.
Ankara.
I'm trying to pick on
she had
Wike
Ankara.
because Wike is out playing because somebody's wearing suit.
No,
Suddenly
she
you
looks
look
as
like
if
you're
she's
serious.
there to do. She's there serious.
Okay.
Ready to do her job. She prostrated.
But based on her
and
lifestyle.
she bowed.
She
knelt
You
down.
can't sit.
Not based on her lifestyle, based on her CV and what she's always done. This is how she dresses
All of them
most
have
of the
great
time.
CV. Let's talk about the gentleman that bowed down, the Minister of Steel Development, Shoaib.
Is that one like he slept?
Why?
Fully frustrated.
Oh my God, why can't
the
no?
floor.
Why?
He started
We
it,
need
I
to
mean,
choose. How do we greet our elders in or our superiors in public? How would we like to do it?
They're different cultures, right?
Yes, but what can we? Let's have like a formal.
So I don't think
can't have it
so. I
universal.
think we can't have it universal because that's the beauty of our
Our
country.
culture.
However, I think he was respecting the culture of the president because if it was
Yes,
somebody
he's
else,
not-
he probably wouldn't do that. But you know, the Yoruba man did that. They won't prostrate. Let me quickly prostrate for him because in
He
his
was
own
brought up
view.
in a Yoruba place where
No,
because
no,
I
I don't
had
know.
issues with my mother-in-law because she was expecting that as a Yoruba girl, I was going to be kneeling down
Every
time. But I wasn't brought up. I was a Yoruba person, but was not brought up. I'm a Yoruba person, not brought up within that space of every time you're kneeling down. So sometimes the expectation could also be
So
that
you would have seen the president and not kneel down.
now with the experience,
Okay, gotcha.
not my parents had been me, but I did not obey. Now as an adult, when I saw the issue in my marriage and the fact that something as simple as just kneeling down would have solved the problem, I started kneeling down more. So now I will not see that kind of person and not kneel down to greet the person.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the inauguration of our ministers yesterday. I'm told I have Mr. Adeni from Makoka on the phone. Thanks for calling, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I just want to make some comment. Number one, with regards to what Wike said, Honorable Wike, what is said. See, every country has their own culture. Every people, every group of people have their own characteristics. I think in Nigeria, the best approach was the approach that Honorable Wike actually displayed. Because in Nigeria, I noticed that when you're trying to arrange things, we want to make things formal. At the end of the day, you get the whole things modeled up. At the end of the day, you are not able to achieve the purpose at which you have already set out. So for me, what Wike said is in order. Do you understand? That's the best approach for me in Nigeria. The same, that was the approach the president actually, that was what he applied when he was sworn in. At the swearing in, he declared that oil subsidy is gone. Let me tell you, if he had waited probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks, forget it. Eventually, it may just become so difficult.
Thank you, Mr. Adeni. They're very different styles. You might be right. Some people have different styles, but that's one technique the president used when he said subsidy is gone. And of course, he had to pay for the repercussions because a lot of Nigerians resisted it at the time. But however, he stood his ground. So maybe that's the style Wike is using and insisting that all the buildings that don't follow the master plan will go down. But we'll see how it goes. Other highlights from yesterday. Let's see what else we have here. The Minister of Minister of Steels.
Yes, he said
Mr. Dele Alaki.
It was the
He said that it was actually planned. The fact, let me even read his comments specifically. He said that I know lots of people thought, okay, I think I missed it. Ooh. Where he was saying that lots of people thought that he would get Minister of Information. However, the president had decided to put him...
I have that.
Okay,
He
have
said,
go
my
ahead, please.
portfolio has been the upset of the entire cabinet because given my antecedents, exposure and experience in the area of perception, information management and the likes, so most people had pigeonholed me for information. And so we decided to shock everybody.
We decided?
Yes, like I feel like he said the president decided to shock everybody by not assigning him to Ministry of Information and putting him to use within the Ministry of solid minerals. That's a ministry that I am looking forward. You know, we have lithium. Nigeria has minerals that are very, very...
And he said something. He said, I mean, crude is generally drying up eventually. That the steel, our natural resource, that is new oil, that's where the money is going to be. So obviously, as we said before, we predicted that the reason why the president put somebody he trusts, because he knows that that's the new frontier. That's what we need to explore to ensure that the money comes to this country. So that's somebody he trusts, and I hope that they're able to fix some.
I really hope that they can do something, because if they do it and they do it well.
Can we talk about the Minister for State for Education, Yusuf Sununu? He has promised to work like a bricklayer in the office. He said, just like a bricklayer, that is facing the challenge of laying hundreds of blocks every day to ensure the progress. He will do the same with the ministry. So we're expecting him to be a very, very hard worker. And I'm happy that he's working within the Ministry of Education because it's a ministry that we need a lot of work done. I don't know what the Ministry of State will be doing, though.
Let me use let me take Cecilia, then I come to you, Mariam. Cecilia, thanks for calling.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, you're live.
On your program.
Thank you
very much. Yes, great program, one.
Thank you.
And then secondly, I want to say that Wike is a political leader. Wike is the greatest among them. I watched the program yesterday, and just like you said, Wike was the only minister that had a standing ovation. I mean, simply awesome. And I can tell you, Wike is a man that talks. What's the talk? Wike is one man that will say, I will do this, he will walk towards it, he will do it. Okay. Wike is the type of leader we need in this country. Okay. Nigerians are not disciplined people, with due respect, okay? Including myself. Everybody is guilty of this. And Wike is the only one that I think that will bring sanity to SDT.
All right. Thank you very much, Cecilia. She's listening to Abuja, so obviously she probably has some insight. A few more comments from the ministers. I have from the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, the former governor of Osun State, Mr. Oyetola. He said that our oceans cover more than 2/3 of our planet's surface, holding the key to sustainable economic growth, environmental preservation, and technological innovation. As we look ahead, my vision is rooted in the responsible management and utilization of our marine resources to benefit not only our economy, but also the health of our planet. So
when I heard that, I was keyed in, and I will be watching,
yeah.
You know, because
closely.
We'll be watching closely because, yes, what we're constantly preaching is sustainable development. And I feel that Nigeria hasn't done a very good job of that. So I'll be looking closely to see how he manages to do this.
That's my own... I'm just going to watch them.
Yeah.
I don't want to hail anybody. I mean, of course, you will have your preferences. Like, I like the Hannatu girl. Yeah. I thought she was really nice. I thought she was elegant. I thought she was well-spoken. I thought she's done so much in her short life. I also liked Lola Adejon. You know, I also like the one that saluted the president.
That's, oh, I got her name.
Like if did a full watching of this.
Let me get her name.
That's Iman
Suleiman Ibrahim, Minister of Police Affairs. Yeah. She has no background in police, but she just had to respect that new office, which was really great for her to do.
You know, so
the minister... Yeah, go ahead, Wike.
What I hope is that the vigor in which they greeted and they knelt down, and that is the same vigor that they will put in the ministries that they head, and something will happen.
So Nigerians...
Because what we need, and I hope the ones that don't deliver, that the president sacks immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. Please, we don't want the repeat of last time when people were there for a long time, even when there were stories, it seemed like, for this president would not be like that. Our president has been very, very responsive. Even when people gave feedback, we saw an immediate response. There wasn't Minister for Niger Delta. There was a response. There was a removed the
Agbalagba.
The youth.
Minister of Youth. He removed
No.
the
administration.
He has not put
somebody else. But there's a template of.
Hopefully, the replacement will be a young person, and we are suspecting.
That's one thing I noticed. Most of these ministers were young.
Yeah, Wike, you're late to the party, Wike. She's 30. Dr. Betta Edu is 36. And she said she's going to be...
all the others, the average seems to be like 40-something.
Yeah, Hannatu is 43, my age.
But we had fewer women than we expected.
Yes, we'd have a lot more. Just there 8 out of 45. Yes. That's a small
We had fewer women than we expected, and we're hoping any other addition to the list would be female. But I want to talk about environment. Now, I know that's Mariam's key department, but there's a part for me. It is our speed of desertification. Like, we're not... It's one of the renewable area. Like, of all our resources, we can replant trees. And it's like the easiest thing to do. That if we set an agenda, this minister can just say, I'm going to plant 1 million trees in the next 4 years, I'm here. and we can hold her accountable. Like there's some cheap
One is
moves.
marine and blue economy.
So
That's
I think
there's a different
yes,
minister for that.
That's different.
That's
There's
a different minister for that.
for
Oyesola is Minister of Marine and Blue Economy.
No. I said environment.
Environment. Oh,
I
sorry.
said the Ministry of Environment that I want a like sell us a vision that we can all tie into and something that would make a huge difference in Nigeria. The heat in Nigeria, like global warming is a big deal, and if we just say we want to plant, we can. It doesn't cost us a big deal to do so if you get people to cooperate with you to say we're planting.
So we're looking for policies that will push that, and we're looking for better implementation of those policies. Let's not just be speaking, because everybody can, take a book and read what you're supposed to say when it comes to the environment or climate change. But then, how do we actually run development in Nigeria? I mean, in Lagos alone, we're talking about the wetlands and how we're trying to develop. We are building all sorts of buildings, or we do not care about the natural resources that are there.
Cleared out the wetland and sold it finished.
Okay, so there was one I was interested in, actually, the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, that's oil. So the president divided it, Minister for Petroleum, State Petroleum Resources, oil, and State Petroleum Resources, gas. So the two different ministers, I guess he said he had to separate them. Heineken Lokpobiri has vowed to go to the creeks to attain the desired result in the sector. He said he pledged to work hard to increase the production. Heineken Lokpobiri, he said he's not going to be in Abuja, he's going to be stay more in the creeks. The minister, who described himself as a creek boy, he stressed he would not spend much time sitting in the office, but he'll be in the creek. So
I definitely will
some of
remember.
the issues when it comes.
I hope he's not just... It's not
a man of integrity,
If he's going to do it, yes, because if you are not on the job, if you are not there, it's the same thing. That's why there are 34 checkpoints on the road, because there is nobody is checking. You have to go there, because if you don't go, and if they know that you are going to come and surprise them, bam, like this, everybody will step up.
So, Wike, if you repeated this checkpoint thing, is it possible that if these checkpoints are actually effective and not collecting money, where they're actually stopping criminals, you'll be okay with it? Because is your issue the number or the inefficiency on collecting money from citizens?
The corruption. 34 checkpoints.
I'm just saying that if I feel I need 34 or 100 checkpoints to ensure that people don't continue to smuggle into this country, if I need 100 checkpoints, maybe I'll put it there. I'm just asking a question. Is it that their corruption you have an issue with, or the number?
I have an issue with the number.
Okay.
I have an issue with the corruption.
Okay.
The corruption first. And what I'm saying is, if you are a minister, I don't know if it's
There's a Minister of Interior now.
Or Interior, whatever minister you are, if you don't go there to see what is happening.
Or respond quickly to feedback.
Because...
Let me quickly take this call from Razak. He's been holding for a minute. Good morning, Razak. Thanks for calling. I'm so sorry for keeping you.
If you have Lola Adejon, who is doing tourism, and she's trying to invite tourists into Nigeria, and you have the checkpoints, stopping tourists from calling me. When I get to Nigeria, I spend 3 hours for a journey that would have been 1 hour. I'm not going to come again. And I'm not a smuggler. You can check me to see if I'm a smuggler now.
Obviously.
It's easy. You open the boot, the smuggler cars, they pass there every day with their extra...
So it's the corruption that we're upset about.
Yes.
I wanted to be clear that we're very clear.
Maybe if there was no corruption or less corruption, you wouldn't need as many checkpoints. But I was going to say about the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil. He says he's a creek boy, and most of the stories we hear from that area is all the bunkering that's going on, the vandalism that's going on, and they seem to be such a very violent group of people as well. So in enforcing the laws, we're thinking he may need a lot of community collaboration to be able to do his job. And since he's a creek boy, he comes from that area, maybe they're able to relate with him because he's one of them. And I hope that he's able to do a good job. Remember, I think it was especially last year when we were reading about Tony Luminlu and many other investors in the oil business that are crying that a lot of the resources that they lose goes to distilling, the bunkering, the vandalism. So this is something that I hope he's able to handle well as a creek boy.
He has promised us.
Okay, we have a caller. Ayinde, thanks for calling.
Good morning, ma'am.
You're live.
First caller.
Sorry?
I said the first caller.
First time caller. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you people.
Thank you, sir.
Please, our problem in this country is all about corruption. The policing, all the law enforcement agents, they are not doing the job. They are outside to extort money, not doing the job. The checking points are not there to check whoever that is going or what do you have in your goods or what do you carry. Just give them money. So that is the problem. That is the problem. So if God help us to handle the issue of corruption in this country, everybody will be fine. Instead of them to check the what's it called, the criminals, they are.
So corruption goes hand in hand with the people and also the justice system, you know, because if people feel that I can get away, because anybody wants to cheat, your natural instinct will see how you can get away with something. But the truth is that when you have a system that checks you, you are able to stop it. So corruption can be fixed if first we, the people, take responsibility, one, the government, two, also take their own responsibility and ensure the judiciary is fair. And that's why, and I think Agbakoba was trying to advise the new AGF, you know, on what he needs to do as he becomes the Attorney General of the Federation. That's Mr. Fagbemi, SAN. So, I mean, there's a lot of work to be done in the judiciary, and we have to ensure that...
The judiciary is not
I have a problem with what you said.
Yes, go ahead.
It's not our natural instinct to cheat. It's not my own natural
No, I didn't say natural instinct. It's always a natural instinct to just get ahead, to do something. So you take advantage of the system. You want to find something. So if you don't find, you find other ways to get it done to satisfy your own inner need. But the truth is that we must understand that it's not about me alone. We have to have a social system where we believe we have to focus on what the system allows us to do and cannot do. So the system must check us. It's not just about my own personal needs. That was the point I'm trying to make.
Besides, the judiciary is the last
law enforcement
resort for all the common men. Like, this is what if we want to stop jungle justice, is judiciary. If we want to improve fairness and equity, is judiciary. If you want people to trust the system, is judiciary. Because even if a corrupt politician or somebody tries to cheat me, I know that if I go to court, anything I take to court, at least the court will defend me. Yeah. If the court can back the common man, then we have a country.
People readjust themselves.
Then we have a country. Yeah. If the court can punish the highest to the lowest, then we have a country. It's fairness and equity. Let me take
Stephen from London. Thanks for calling. Stephen from London, you're live.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, sir.
A wonderful job you are doing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for keeping us updated about the affairs of our nation. Just to express my optimism about what we are seeing, President Tinubu seems to be somebody that is solution-driven. You want to believe that all of this crop of individuals, achievers, they will do an excellent job. And so I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic, we are praying. Somehow, we are not so much in a position to help one way or the other, but we can pray. And we can also give support to our people at home. And so I hope and I pray that this crop of people will prove their critics wrong. So I'm looking forward to some changes. You know, people get surprised and say, oh, this happened in Nigeria. Some people are making comments about our airport in Nigeria, how it was the one in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Stephen. We didn't get most of what you said, but I'm sure he was...
He was just saying that he hopes the president is purpose-driven, and so that results, I think he was just saying, you know, and which is my own, I'm not here to criticize anybody. I'm just here to, because right now, we need good governance, and we need to change Nigeria.
And we need more than words. The words are nice, they're colorful, they are right, but we need more than words.
So in that space, to support what you said about the Nigerians are feeling a huge pinch of the economic challenges. So we are more aware than ever, and a lot of people that will put pressure on the ministers. But before we talk about putting pressure on ministers, I'm going to beg all Nigerian contractors, portfolio contractors, connections, all of you that know any minister one-on-one or know someone that knows the minister, please sit down in your house. Don't send congratulatory messages that is laced with opportunities for contracts. Leave them and let them do their work, please.
They have also started putting adverts in the paper.
There's adverts paper yesterday, I know. So I'm begging. The paper was heavy adverts celebrating.
Nation.
Everybody wants their name to be shown. Let these people, contractors, sit down in your house.
Now.
Let the government,
but the minister cannot go and tar the roads by himself.
Yes,
he needs to get the
contract.
yes or no.
Contractor.
Yes or yes.
He should give it to the best hand.
Yeah, so the best hand can be a family member.
Family members now will start telling them, I do this one, I do that one.
What if your family member is a fantastic
We don't
contractor?
want nepotism. That's my opinion.
No, they are meant to even just follow due process.
Follow due process.
But it can be a family member, follow due process, and still get it. Now, because you're a family member, you shouldn't become contractor. I'm just asking a question. Let us be, because if you're a minister, hang in there. If you're a minister today, and I am a family member, and I'm actually very good at my work, somebody just appointed his cousin to be, we don't know.
I will need to send you a reminder mail or text message.
I will send you a reminder. Hi, congratulations.
I know the areas where you are good. I know if I want to do PR for a 360 right now,
yes,
I will talk to Morayo. How can we package this thing? She will give me ideas. She knows how to push the.
But you forget because
I will not forget.
Let me tell you why you forget.
I know somebody.
Let me tell you why. Wike, wait. Let me tell you why you forget, Nima. Because you're not addressing. It's not about me. You have so many people around you. You have a system. You're just a minister. A civil service that works. That there's a system in place already. And you know what? You get swamped. And if you're not reminded of where you're coming from as a technocrat, of the people who you work with, who you know you can trust, you will just be swamped into that. So sometimes let us not always
let me tell you something.
Yes.
You see, integrity has a lot to do with this.
Yes.
I mean, because I know Tokwe and Tokwe has become minister, I will now start calling Tokwe or
Auntie Jenny will not supply Adire. What was Auntie Jenny know about Adire? But they will give her the contract to supply Adire because I'll say she's from Adire.
I know somebody who knows one of the ministers. In fact, the minister was that person's ex. Listen, the minister was that person's ex. So another person that knew that person is the ex sent a message saying, you own done better.
Your ex has become minister.
Your ex has become minister. Kiniko. So I asked the person,
what should she do?
I said, are you going to send text to the? Only no. I don't do that. That is integrity.
Yes.
Personal integrity.
That is integrity. I don't want, it's not because I know you that I should get something. And I think if we all started to act like that, because you that you're always saying, we the people, this is part of we the people.
So but the point is, Wike, I mean, around the world, we've seen Trump hire people around it. We've seen the point, I'm not saying, Wike, hear me out. Hear me.
All his family.
Wike, the point is, the truth is that we're already preempting that people will come around these ministers. That is natural. But let us not also think that, and I lost my train of thought. We're still discussing these ministers, what our expectations are. Let me come to you, Tokwe. And I know also the president also gave a very inspiring speech. He was saying that we shouldn't lead with ethnicity, from your colony, from your region. You should lead because you are now a minister of the Federal Republic. How does that communicate to you?
It sounded right. It sounded like what we need to hear. Yes, no minister should be leading based on their ethnicity. Even though they are more comfortable with people from their area, they must open themselves up. So it was a good announcement to us. And I hope they comply. I know it will be tough. You know what I'm saying? It will be tough. Honestly, it will be tough because people want, if you are from my area, and I know that you're a minister and you're from my area, I want to feel the impact of what you've done in my area. People always talk about Obasanjo not doing, Ota Road is not passable, and there was a president. Whatever that the former president will talk about, they always tell him that the road to your house is not passable. You cannot drive from Lagos to your house. That's it. If you are from a state, they must feel the impact of what you've done, but just ensure that you are fair in what you're doing. Okay, let me take this call from Yinka. Yinka calling from Yaba. Thanks for calling, Yinka.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Morayo and your team.
Morning.
You guys are doing great work.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay, so, Morayo, I gave you the name at this tour 3 years ago, and since then I've been trying to call without getting through. So it was October 4th when you guys were dressed in native attire, and you were dressed in one Niger Delta dress like that. And then you said somebody should give you a Niger Delta name. So I gave you Adesua. Since then, I've been trying to call, not getting through.
Oh, thank you.
My friend,
thank you, Inka.
Like everyone of them.
Thank you, Inka.
People remember.
Generally, for the country, I wish Ashwadi Bola Tinubu and his ministers I wish them the best of luck. They actually need time to perform. Nobody should rush them. Though we are expectant, we want the best, but good luck to everyone.
Thank you very much. Mariam, let me come to you. The president's speech, especially at this time where there's a lot of division, there's still a lot of politics playing, because I know even Peter Obi was in Edo yesterday. They were trying to rally people around for the elections coming up. So there's still a lot of, talk here and there. What are your thoughts on his speech?
I think the president, this particular president, has done a good job of understanding what needs to be said and how it needs to be said. Maybe apart from that, subsidy removal is gone immediately. But, he understands that Nigerians are actually really looking for hope. We're looking for someone who can give us like a guideline, where to go and what to expect. The message that he preached with his speech is an important one, as you said, is we are just coming out of an election, and as with every election, there will definitely be differences politically, ethnically, religious, and especially, with his own ticket, which was a Muslim ticket. So I love that the messaging we're getting from him, from his cabinet, like with Ajuri, Gelale. We remember also his speech was really about we're all together, we're one, and we're working for Nigeria. And we need to put Nigeria back on the front burner. We have talked about, I'm Yoruba, I'm Igbo. We have used those different ethnicities many times to argue points with each other. But now is Nigeria's time. Anyone in the Federal Executive Council, anyone representing us anywhere is representing us as Nigerians. And we just want to see Nigerians go forward. We hope that every minister or everybody that is representing us politically or otherwise by appointment, you understand that it's about the interest of Nigerians and not your interest. And it's not political interest now. I feel that the president has done the good job of giving everyone, paying back for whatever political thing you have contributed. But now is the time to work for the Nigerian people.
Okay, let me take this call from Joseph. Thanks for calling from Abuja.
Hello.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. So, please, my contribution is this. Of course, all of them, they want to let us know at their introductory speech that they are able to do the job. Of course, they have to convince us that they are able to do that. But the momentum, someone like the Minister of Abuja, the incoming Minister of Abuja, just on weekend, the momentum is coming by the counterproductive, because we know the prevailing economic reality in Nigeria. Talking about doing away with slums, destroying houses, this and that. Then you haven't even come in, you're already threatening everybody. It might be counterproductive. So you have to tone down on his policy programs. It's really not ideal to speak like this for now. Secondly, Mr. President has done well. I think he gave to people, he gave jobs to people whose field actually, I mean, the engineers he gave to the engineers, the economists he gave to the economists, where they belong to, which is round hole in a square, round.
Don't worry, we get the point.
We get it,
Thank you. All right.
Let's take a few comments.
Thank you very much, Joseph, for your comments. Many young Nigerians were excited about Bosun Tijani.
Yeah.
But we didn't hear him speak, though. He was really rather, he didn't hear him.
But you know that it was a bit conditioned. Last time
When Bosun Tijani stood up, when they were reading
the citation,
there was one that was looking at him like this.
Are you serious? Wike,
I don't know whether he was a minister, whether he was a senator.
was
were you there? Wike?
She was reading there.
It's not his CV. You know he has that. He called them morons.
Oh.
So he was looking. Look at this.
Was he a senator?
I don't know who he was. It was just one.
You're just reading. You're reading minutes.
I think this is how he was looking at him.
honestly.
Okay, well, let me take it.
You have to work together.
I was showing him. I said, look. He's saying, look. He's saying this, and because the camera was on him.
It wasn't
Wike
happy.
was thinking about
All right,
something
Wike.
else.
Let me take this.
Yeah.
As well as the senator.
Fiona is telling us something from Tubes.
Please tell us so.
He said that one of my church members was given FCT commandant of the civil service. Everybody is looking for him in church for jobs and contracts.
Fiona.
This is what happens in Nigeria. Another person said, Olajide said, there's nothing wrong with marketing your product, so let the process be free of favoritism.
Simple.
That's the key. I know Tokwe's comment is around man, no man culture.
It is man that will know man now. I mean, why are we pretending?
Yeah,
Look,
go
it's
follow the
good.
system.
Yeah, follow the system. Let's not act all self-righteous. The truth is that if you know somebody who has an opportunity, even if it's a bank, a private bank or a private company, you say, oh, my uncle, I have an uncle who's the director there. Please, sir, how do I do it? They'll tell you, apply to HR. Once you get shortlisted, let me know. No, there's a process. Even here, then people call us that I want to become interns. Just because I don't know you, I've never seen you in my life. Because you're a fan you send me a message on Instagram, automatically you expect me to refer you to be internship in TVC. It doesn't make any sense. But it's all part of that. It's the mentality that we have to know somebody. So the point is, we have to find a way to work around it.
Publications to congratulate your loved ones. You don't need
Exactly.
publications to congratulate your loved ones.
Use the money somewhere
Let
else.
me take this call. People are making me...
Newspapers will
Wait,
love
wait,
that
I have a caller.
And Tierney wants
Is
to
it Garba or Rasaki? Garba, thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Morayo. I have been watching and following you guys for more than 5 years. This is now
Oh, thank you very much, Garba.
Welcome to the show.
Morayo, Miriam, Ojiabulu, and Nikulapo, all of I agree to people, but
Thank
everybody
you.
let me go this way. And my contribution is on the Minister of Humanitarian, Dr. Betta Edu.
Minister what?
He has a very big strength.
Humanitarian.
Okay.
See, I'm using this platform to cry for the plight of our beneficiaries. I get someone that is close to me and he's a teacher. This is since January to get they have not been paid tax to them, which is unfair. Let me say something, Morayo. If they pay those young men, that's a consumption system. I'm telling you, it will go around our economy. I know what they are concerned.
Can't hear him.
Please, I'm urging on if you enter office, we try and
It's not very clear, Garba. I do apologize. We couldn't hear you very clearly. Somebody was going to
I
jump
was
in.
going to confess
Yes.
that if it was me, that it is my ex that becomes minister,
You will greet the
I will definitely greet him. There you
What kind
I'm
of
still
ex?
suffering.
If it was an ex that
I'm
was
just
mean
saying.
to you.
Anyone. Any ex.
Exactly. So let's not pretend. No, we talk about speaking about here. If they make Wike
It's
Minister
not
of
a-
Tourism tomorrow, you will not
It's
go and
not a
beat
matter
Wike.
of pretend. We are just saying it's not right. But I must confess, I will do the wrong thing.
I'm
Yeah.
still selling land and
You
house.
do
I will do the wrong thing.
But you hope that the minister, who is your ex, will say there's a system.
Yes.
Go
Follow
that
due
way.
process.
I hope not.
Oh my God, why can't I finish me?
Are you telling
Mike has funny. Oh God.
Let me take Benjamin.
I don't want to lie.
We the people.
Let me take Benjamin. Good morning, Benjamin.
Yeah, good morning.
You're live.
Hope not.
Okay. My mom, she's a fan of you ladies.
Thank you.
So
Regards
I'm
to her.
very- Yeah. My problem is the Minister of FCT, Wike. Just like one of your callers said that it's wrong for him by just getting to the ministry and start running some, let's say, program of the FCT without him settling down to know the real issue. Like most of the his program that he's trying to bring out is something that is going to benefit the elite. Abuja is a place that is not only for the rich, but I just want him, let him focus on the poor people in FCT. And one thing about FCT, they have cameras. I think that they should work on their cameras, their CCTV camera. It's very important. It's something that can
Thank you
help
very much,
the-
Benjamin. That's great feedback to the Minister of FCT. It's important. We shouldn't just work on the Maitama area and all the highbrow areas. Just work also on the outskirts and also ensure that the CCTV's camera begins to work.
It's not just about knocking down structures.
But you should knock down structures that are illegal.
I'm not saying don't knock
I know
down
what Lagos
structures,
is going through
but
right now. People have been built houses for years, 20, 30 years. They're now demolishing houses and they're demolishing house because governance did not meet them many years ago. They just went to kind of build houses in different places that they shouldn't be building houses. So we are already suffering for it in Lagos. So FCT cannot be like that. And that's what he's trying to ensure, that people who are taking advantage, they've done it in their own various states, and not coming to FCT to come and just take advantage. You can't do that in FCT. So that's what we're trying to do.
I agree. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying it's not just about knocking down structures. It's also about actually
expanding the city.
I think he should take a leaf from when Paul went to the church I can't remember, and he said to them, they said he first told them the good about themselves before he now explained to them the bad things that they have done. So tell us, give us the hope message. When I come, I'll make sure the lights work, the outskirts will not be left without development, you know, and then eventually all these illegal structures will be taken down. Then it looks like, oh, okay, this person wants to
But do you
work
know
with
that
us,
this announcement from Wike can cause people to quickly go and regularize their documentation?
Exactly.
They'll rush, by this morning, everybody has gone to go and make sure that they have their documentation properly correct, because somebody has announced that I'm going to start demolishing. So that's Nigeria. We like all this.
Oh, you have put people on the
But
defensive and they're waiting to see how far you go.
No, because
so he too has to be on top of it. If it's an illegal structure, if it comes to his table and they're just trying, because he must make sure that every...
I have a caller from FCT. Omar, thanks for calling.
Let's hear FCT people.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Thank you, ladies, for the nice job you are doing. Morayo, I want to really, you as a person, you don't normally pick my calls. You will keep me waiting at the end of the day.
She doesn't pick calls.
I don't pick calls on live TV. We have a back end that picks the calls.
Somebody else will pick calls, but you will not.
Sorry, Mr. Omar. I apologize. I sincerely apologize.
I want to contribute to this your topic.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Topic you are discussing this morning. The truth of the whole thing is, Wike, if I want to refer to Wike, you say because he's your ex, it might not be maybe a friend of your person, that your former ex is being appointed, or your former friend is being appointed as a minister or any other position at all. You will not congratulate that person. I, as a person, I will look at you as an enemy. No matter what, as long as that person has been given an appointment, it does not really mean that you are going to get favor from that person. No. You will come to congratulate. You might even see advise him or her on what I want to do, what he or she does not know. Congratulating somebody does not really mean you are looking for favor from that person.
Right. Thank you very much, Omar. We have to wrap up.
You can call, but it doesn't mean that you're calling because you want favor. See, there's nothing wrong with calling.
Yes, let's not assume it's because of favors. Yes, I can just send a message to your ex and say, hey, hi, whatever. Anyway, we have to...
I'm here.
We have to wrap up on this.
Remember me.
Let's just use this opportunity
in your paradise
to congratulate all the ministers, and Nigerians are expectant, and we hope that indeed they work hard and they are transparent and they don't apply ethnicity or religious beliefs in this work they're doing. They should focus on Nigeria, because the president has said, has sold renewed hope to us.
Yep.
And we're hoping that they will carry that renewed hope torch and not be, doing things that we don't expect. Anyway, that's all we can take on this segment. When we return, it's our Tuesday when we discuss health. We're going to be having a talk on diphtheria. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.